Fiona. Welcome to the Conversation with Trip 101, where we talk about Shangri-La Rasa. So, could you start by introducing yourself and the hotel that you work at?
Certainly. Thank you. I'm Fiona Hagen. I am the general manager of the Shangri-La Rasa Resort here in Kota Kinabalu. We are a resort which is located on 450 acres of land. We are really unique because we have a 64-acre nature reserve. We have a 3-kilometer beach. We have an 18-hole golf course. So actually Shangri-La Rasaria Kota Kinabalu is really how I would describe it to people. Firstly is it's a beach resort, but really a destination within a destination. So obviously located here in North Borneo, the state of Sabah.
That's lovely. Could you tell us a little bit more about the location, Kota Kinabalu?
I can. Kota Kinabalu is located on the big island of Borneo. Borneo sits in the South China Sea, and the big island of Borneo actually has Kalimantan. It has sort of a portion of Indonesia to the south, Brunei, and then we have 2 states of Malaysia. So we have Sarawak and Sabah. And Sabah is at the very northern tip of Borneo. So, as I said, we have a 3-kilometer beach sort of looking out from our resort. We look over the South China Sea, and only 2 hours north of where we are is actually the tip of Borneo, where you've got 2 oceans that actually join together. What Sabah and Borneo is really famous for is its beautiful white sandy beaches, beautiful islands, seafood, and also the nature and the wildlife. Endemic to Borneo are the orangutans. We have proboscis monkeys, as well as many species of mammals and birds, and it's really a destination that is made famous, by nature, wildlife, beaches, and the sort of natural beauty here.
So you mentioned that the beach is about 3 kilometers long. What all can the visitors do over there, or what can they expect to find on this really long beach that you have? It's a private beach, right?
Actually, it's a public beach. All of the beaches in Sabah are owned by the state government. We say it is our beach because we have adopted the beach. So we work with the local authorities, and I say that we adopted the beach because we take care of the beach. It's part of our nature here inside Shangri-La Rasaria. We adopt the beach, we belong here to the community. So we clean the beach, on a regular basis, all the way up to the end of the 3-kilometer beach. This beach here, firstly, it's the most beautiful beach to explore the sunrises and the sunsets. Sabah is sort of world famous for having the best sunsets in the world. And actually our beach being 3 kilometers long and really in front of the hotel, it's about 1 kilometer wide from the end point of our Rasaria Reserve to where the resort really finishes along the beachfront. It's about 1 kilometer. We have this amazing expanse of beach for families, for honeymoon couples, for wedding couples, for anyone, to really interact with as a beautiful landscape for photography, for memories and making. So sunset is probably one of the most popular times of the day actually on our beach. Secondly is obviously for swimming. That's why people come here, is to enjoy the beautiful white sands of Sabah and Borneo, and the ocean. So in front of actually our beach, we don't have any snorkeling activities. And I'm Australian myself, so we're more a beach where people really enjoy to swim in the ocean. At certain times of the year, we get great waves, so we do surfing lessons for our guests. But majority of the time, we have a lot of water sport activities. Things beautiful, focused on, catamarans, and we have the jet skis, we have beautiful, kayaking activities, stand-up paddleboard. So a lot of sort of water sports and beach activities.
Okay, you're painting a lovely picture.
It's beautiful, and it's a beautiful day today. I can see the beautiful blue skies from my office, so I'm imagining what it's like on the beach. Yeah.
So, what's this beach called? It's a public beach. So, what's the name?
It's called Pantai Dalit. Now, Pantai in Malay is means beach, and Dalit is actually our location. So we are located in Dalit Bay. So it's called Pantai Dalit.
Okay. And are there any other popular beaches also nearby, apart from the one that's right next to your property?
There's a beach which is located adjacent, sort of across the river from us, called Sabanda, Sabandar, and this is a beach. It's really uninhabited. It has a more local sort of resort and local community located towards the end of that beach, and you can access that actually from our golf course. That you can access that via kayaks. Actually, get on kayaks, go over to this beach, and actually walk along the beach. So, where we are located, the resort, we are located about 40 minutes drive from the city of Kota Kinabalu. So it's quite different to staying in a resort in the city, in more of the urban resorts located in Kota Kinabalu. Our beach is actually, we are the only inhabitants on our beach. So
Oh,
our guests, even when the resort is very full, they can find their own space and they can enjoy the experience themselves.
lovely, lovely. Do you have like any kind of advice or like a caution that you would want to give the visitors about these two beaches that you mentioned, the one that's on your own property and the other one which is a little bit uninhabited, or are they completely safe to visit?
Yeah, like anything, as I mentioned, I'm Australian, so I'm always first and foremost talk about water safety.
Hmm.
And here on our beach, and I say I call it our beach because it's certainly in front of the hotel. Actually, that is our beach. That is within our control. We have a lifeguard that is present, from sunrise to sunset, located on our beach, and he is there primarily to ensure that those people that can swim, are very confident in swimming, and particularly, there's people that are a little less confident. Our lifeguard will help them, in the event that there are stronger rips or stronger sort of water currents, yeah, to be aware of. So I think first and foremost, it's water safety. I think the second piece to be aware of on the beach is, I say actually it's hot. I'm always about, wear a hat, wear your sunscreen. Actually, it's just like a beach anywhere else in the world, but it's wide, it's uninhabited, it's very safe. Yes, very safe to walk along a 3 kilometer beach. This resort is part of the local community. And because of that, we do have some communities that live towards the end of the beach, but they are fishermen. So it's really actually quite stunning in the mornings, yeah, where you've got the fishermen going out. We get a lot of our guests like to enjoy the morning walks along the beach.
Okay, sounds great. Um, my next question is about like what is a good time of the year to visit? Or do you have like does it stay the same throughout the year, or is there a specific time in the year when it's especially good for visitors to come?
The weather, from around February to about September, October, the weather is fantastic. We are in Southeast Asia, so we do tend to get a little bit of rain, but that rain comes in the evenings. So we may get rain for an hour every evening just to cool things down. But actually, the weather at the moment, where the weather at the moment is beautiful. So sort of from March to about September, daily temperatures sit anywhere from about 28 degrees to about 32 degrees. The skies are really blue. The the grass, the environment. We're located within a sort of a nature reserve. So we have the beautiful contrast of the blue skies, the green, the forest reserve around us. So it's beautiful this time of year. The months of sort of November, end of October, November, we tend to get a little bit of rain, a little bit more rain. So it's maybe a little risky to come that time of the year, but outside of that, the weather's perfect.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned that it's a great place to see the sunset. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's a good, is there like a point on the resort, or are there like viewing points that you might have from where one can see?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think within the resort itself, actually, our lobby lounge, sitting on the lobby in our garden wing, is a perfect place. You know, for those that maybe don't like to enjoy so much, sort of sitting very, very close to the beach. So that's a perfect place. It's elevated. We get a beautiful, expansive view of the sunset. We also inside the resort we have a bar called Sampan Bar, which is a bar actually located directly on the beachfront. Particularly beautiful for families. You know, we get a lot of families down there. You know, the children can continue to play on the beach, you know, before sunset, after sunset. You've got our beach volleyball court, which is located just adjacent to the Sampan Bar. So it's very, very popular in the evenings to view the sunset. And actually, as I said, the resort actually has this beautiful beach right in front. So we get a lot of our guests that really, you know, like to just walk on the beach and really, I guess, interact. I call it interact. They really play with the sunset themselves. It's really, you know, every evening the sunset is different here. Even myself, every evening I get out of I make sure I get out at 6 o'clock and I'm standing there and I see the sunset every day because it's very different. So you know, I think they're particularly the two places. The other one is inside the guest rooms. You know, our sea-facing guest rooms, particularly in the ocean wing, they have these beautiful views straight out over the beach. And as I said, this beautiful wide beach with the sunset, and that happens every evening. So our ocean wing rooms actually have a bathtub, an oversized bathtub on the balcony. So we do get a lot of people that like to enjoy a sunset bath. You're beautiful. Sit in your bathtub. You have a glass of champagne or a glass of wine, and you're watching the sunset. Actually, it's a beautiful experience.
That sounds lovely, really.
Mm,
You can relax while viewing a beautiful, breathtaking sunset.
mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Coming to the next question. I want to know about your rooms. So, you mentioned Feb to September is the like the main season, let's say, the busiest months that you would have. So,
Mhm.
how much in advance would you recommend your guests to book rooms at the property? Do you get booked out like months in advance, or is it like within um, a few weeks they would be able to sort of book up travel in the coming few months?
I think it's a really good question, and it really depends on the periods within there. You know, the July and August period for us is a peak season because it is summer school holidays in the Northern Hemisphere. So that period we tend to, certainly if people are looking for really good deals, yeah, they should be looking July and August or Christmas. They should really be looking to look for offers maybe six months in advance. My recommendation would be at least sort of 4 to 6 months in advance for July, August, and your peak season of really Christmas. For periods outside of that, typically, you know, people, I would say anywhere within sort of, you know, maybe 3 weeks to a month, you know, we're seeing, I think particularly after COVID, we're seeing a lot of people maybe plan trips at the very last minute. You know, the booking pattern has changed. And so actually we do have rooms available most of the year outside of that period. But the months to look out for is July and August and December when pretty much the whole Northern Hemisphere is traveling. And we tend to get very busy as a beach resort over those months.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. You've already described the sea view room for me and the garden view room, I think. What are the other rooms that you have on the property?
We have two wings in the property. So we have a garden wing and an ocean wing. Our garden wing has around 300 rooms, and our garden wing, is what I would call a standard, a great 5-star hotel product, ideal for families, for couples, for those that are looking for a great experience in a 5-star hotel. Beautiful. A lot of our amenities are located in our garden wing. We have our main all-day dining restaurant, our buffet restaurants, and we have a swimming pool, our children's club. Then we have a second wing inside the hotel, which is really for our travelers that are looking for a little bit more space, a little more luxury, and maybe I call it a little bit of a more personalized experience, and that's called our ocean wing. So we have 180 rooms inside our ocean wing, and each one of those, we call them suites, they're junior suites. Each one of those junior suites are 90 square meters, and each one of them have a large, oversized bathtub, which is the one I mentioned on the balcony. Some of them are located on the ground floor, which are ideal for families, because families, you're able to just open the gate and the children go out to the swimming pool and enjoy the facilities. And others are located up on our 5th floor, beautiful views back out over the beach. So with these two wings, we have, I guess, different experiences. So we have our standard rooms in the garden wing, our junior suites in the ocean wing, and then we do have executive suites available and specialty suites. And our specialty suites, we have 2 specialty suites inside the hotel, and they're really oversized suites. They're great to accommodate 4 to 6 people, a little bit more space. Up on the top floor of the hotel, we have some simple sort of cooking facilities inside those rooms. So we've got a myriad of different options. I think one thing we do have, which is quite unique, is that we have around 80 sets of interconnecting rooms within the hotel. So whether you're in the garden wing or the ocean wing, and those interconnecting rooms actually give great flexibility for families, particularly for families. We get a lot of families or multi-generational families that are traveling now, and to have that space is really important. So certainly if people want to guarantee an interconnecting room, they should be booking a little bit further in advance, because those rooms actually we find are the most popular, particularly over the school holidays.
You've certainly given a lot of thought to cater to the needs of families traveling together. So that's lovely to know. Fiona, earlier you had mentioned surfing activities on the beach and some other amenities that you also have. Could you tell me a little bit more about those? What sort of amenities are available around the
Yeah.
beach?
Around the beach area, we have, as I mentioned, we have a 64-acre nature reserve inside the hotel, and this nature reserve actually sits on a peninsula at the end of our beach. It's a really beautiful experience, and within that nature reserve, we have nature walks, we have nature trails, we have activities available for guests that are guided through our resident naturalists. Located at the foot of our nature reserve, and actually it's on the beach. It's a great experience for families. We have an adventure playground, actually fantastic for families, and really it's an outdoor playground area that we've built with a rock climbing wall, a mini zip line. In this space, we also do, water gun wars. We do lots and lots and lots of activities, particularly for children, and that's actually located right on the beach, at the foot of our nature reserve and adjacent to our water sports. We have a really comprehensive water sports centre. We have four fully stocked, state-of-the-art catamarans, within the hotel, and our staff are available to either take our guests out if they're not so comfortable, or if guests are really comfortable, they can go out by themselves and enjoy the catamarans on the ocean. We have beautiful sun lounges on the beach. So we've got the beach, the activities around the beach itself are very, very popular. Then we do part of our programming for guests, actually. So we do regular recreation activities. We have beach volleyball available for guests. We do beach soccer. This is, really, really popular, particularly, with lots of different nationalities inside the resort. And I think we have one activity that is really special and unique to us. We have an activity called ocean golf. And actually, because we have a golf course, we have an 18-hole golf course that sits behind the hotel. We wanted to provide an activity that enables the non-golfers or those that want to interact and take great pictures. So ocean golf is actually a fully sustainable, and I say it's a sustainable golf ball. So it's actually a golf ball which is made out of fish food. So it's a golf ball, and we set this up on the beach in the early evenings, just before sunset, as an activity that guests can actually purchase and participate in. And the guests can actually hit the golf balls into the sunset, so to speak. So it's really hitting the golf balls into the sunset, and these golf balls at the same time, within 24 hours, they start to sort of decompose in the ocean and they become fish food. So this is a great activity that talks to our values as a resort to be, really focused on sustainability and to have reduce our carbon footprint and to really focus on ESG. At the same time, to give guests a great opportunity to practice their golf swing into the ocean. So that's a really fun activity, actually, we do on the beach. That's a new activity we've just launched recently.
That sounds really fun. I'm sure that is what makes watching each sunset quite unique as well, because you
Yeah.
can see people participating, and the word you used earlier was interacting with the beach. So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the food options available at the resort? How many restaurants do you have? You've already mentioned the bar and a couple of other locations, but if you could go
Yeah.
into more detail about those.
Absolutely. So we have, because of our location and where we are, we've got a great variety of restaurants. So actually, we have 7 restaurants and bars within the resort. We have firstly, we have 2 breakfast restaurants for the resort, which I think is important for a guest that's staying in the hotel. For our garden wing guests, we have our coffee terrace, which is an all-day dining buffet restaurant. So that's available for them for breakfast. For our ocean wing guests, actually enjoy a private venue for breakfast, which is in our Oceano. Oceano is a modern grill restaurant. So actually, and if I talk firstly about the Oceano, so it's open for breakfast for our ocean wing guests. And then in the evenings, actually, this is our main Western a la carte dining restaurant. So in there, we serve, and our signature is really the Saba seafood. Saba is really well known for its seafood. So in there, we serve sort of Saba lobster, Saba live, grilled, local grouper, as well as international steaks and different cuisine. So that's a very, very popular restaurant. Then we have 2 buffet restaurants. We have the Coffee Terrace, which is available for breakfast, as well as open on alternate evenings for dinner. I think our signature restaurant that every guest that stays inside the resort tries is called our Tepi Lao, Makan Street. So Tepi Lao is located next to the swimming pool in the ocean wing, and it's actually facing the beach. I said we have a very wide beach, and it's just this stunning location. So we find, that's our most popular lunchtime venue inside the resort because, it's what people come on holidays for. You sit, you enjoy your lunch, you enjoy your dinner, and you're looking at the beach, the beautiful sunset, and enjoying that. And Tepi Lao is mainly our local food. So known very much for, satays, our Malaysian traditional cuisines. Very, very, very popular. Then we have 2 signature restaurants inside the resort. One is Kozan. Kozan is a teppanyaki restaurant. Absolutely stunning, beautiful. It's a real favorite where, we've got live teppanyaki stations. Our chefs are really talented. They put on a little show for our guests, but actually the main focus in Koza and our teppanyaki restaurant is really exceptional food quality in there. And then next to Koza, we have the Eighth, which is actually a Chinese restaurant. And our Chinese restaurant really specializes in Cantonese cuisine, and that's particularly good for, we serve I think our signature dish in there is a hot pot. And actually this hot pot, the most popular one is again with the Saba seafood. We find most people that come to Saba really want to try the local fish, the local prawns, the local lobsters. So that's really, really popular. Then we have our lobby lounge, beautiful, beautiful bar that sits inside our garden wing. And that's really open all day long for tea, coffee during the day, afternoon tea, has a stunning view over the beach and the garden wing swimming pool. And then in the evenings, actually, our garden wing lobby lounge has live entertainment. That works really well. And then can't forget two more restaurants. The Sampan Bar, which I spoke about. This is our bar that's located right on the beachfront. Fantastic. Only open from 4 p.m. up until 8:30 in the evening. And really, it's just a perfect place for sunset. 3 or 4 times a week, we do a live cultural show down there. Sabahans here are very, I talk about Sabahans love to sing, they love to dance, and they've got a lot of great or fantastic culture. And so we have a live culture show, dance show down there where the guests can actually get in and enjoy. That happens 3 or 4 times a week. And then actually 3 times a week, we do a sunset ceremony off our sampan bar. So as the sun is setting, we do a very traditional fire show, which is actually on our beach. Fantastic, very, very popular activity. And then really our last restaurant we have in the resort is located in our golf course. And our golf course is just a short walk from the resort, or we have buggies that run back and forward. And even if you're a non-golfer, I always encourage our guests to go actually to the golf course because it has a stunning view from our clubhouse of the Mount Kinabalu. And you can see that view in the early mornings or particularly in the late afternoon. So that's available. That restaurant over there is open from early in the morning up until around sunset in the evenings. So we have a lot of choice for our guests. At the same time, we also have gazebos available on the beach. So we have 5 different dining gazebos on the beach. And we get a lot of our guests that like to have private dinners, where our chef actually curates a menu. They sit out there from sunset, they enjoy the sunset, and then they continue with a private dinner.
That's certainly a lot of options and some really amazing ones, especially those which are featuring local cuisine, Sabah lobsters, and all of those. That's really great. Are there any other, you've already spoken about so many of them, but are there any other activities or amenities that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, obviously we have, and I forgot to talk about our spa. So we have, people that are here on beach holidays, they love, it's about health, it's about wellness, it's really about your mind, body, and soul. So we have, as I said, our 18-hole golf course. This is very, very popular. Available at our golf course. We have a lot of rental sets actually for golfers. We do find many people arrive here, and whilst they're here, they might stay for 4 or 5 days and think, while I'm here, I wouldn't mind to take a round of golf. So we have, in our pro shop, we have a full array of rental golf shoes and golf sets for those that didn't come well prepared to play golf. We have a spa, beautiful spa, with sort of 13 treatment rooms in the spa, but also we have beachside massage and reflexology available. We have 2 specific places within the resort where that is available. We also offer, I said before, a wide array of recreation activities. So we do, for example, yoga. You can find yoga in lots and lots and lots of places inside sort of beach resorts, but we also do stand-up paddleboard yoga in our ocean wing pool. And we do that 3 times a week. And that's a great activity. It gets people out of bed early in the morning. It gives them access to try something new. And we find that a lot of our guests may have never tried yoga before, but they're really interested to try this activity. We also have, as I mentioned, our Rasa Reserve, which is our 64-acre nature reserve. And, that reserve is protected space. Actually, it's protected. It's an agreement we have with the Sabah state government. And inside that reserve, we run a myriad of different activities with our resident naturalists. We have a stingless bee garden. So guests can go, and we have an interpretation centre. Guests can go and just talk to our resident naturalists and learn a little bit more about what we have in our environment, or what is existing within Sabah. But we also have one activity that actually I call my favorite activity in the resort, because it's a sunrise walk to the top of our Rasaria Reserve. And actually, from the sunrise, from the top of our Rasaria Reserve, you can see the sunrise over Mount Kinabalu. And this is probably, it takes a bit of effort to wake up at sort of 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. But I guarantee you, every single guest that does this activity, that little bit of effort to get up early in the morning and to walk, it's about a 30-minute walk. It's a hike up the hill. But you get up there, you can hear the birds, the cicadas, the forest really waking up. And then you see the sunrise over Mount Kinabalu. Truly, it is just a spectacular experience. And then, actually, maybe last activity, I'm just arranging something today, actually, for a guest that's in the hotel. We're arranging a helicopter tour up to Mount Kinabalu. And that for us to do here inside Rasaria is very easy, because the helicopters can come and land either on our beach, or they can land at our golf course. So I think we are the only resort inside Sabah that can organise a private helicopter tour with pickup inside the resort for guests to actually explore.
Lovely. You've painted such a lovely picture of Shangri-La Rasaria. I'm certainly tempted to visit. That trek up to seeing the sunrise definitely sounds something that I'd sign up for.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I want to know a little bit more about the neighborhood that you're located in. So you've already mentioned like the stretch of beach and the local communities that you are also partnered with, and the fact that it's a little bit removed from the city. Are there any other attractions nearby, closer to the resort that people can go to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're right. As I said, we're about sort of 40 minutes drive outside of Kota Kinabalu. I think the people, what's around us is really the local community and the local experiences. So we really, what we really try and do here is offer that local authentic experiences to our guests. We have a river, 2 rivers located very close to the hotel, and actually on one of the rivers we offer kayak tours, where guests can actually get on the river and go through the mangroves in kayaks. We also offer firefly activities in the evening, which is fantastic. After dinner, great experience. It's only a short sort of 10-minute drive from here down to the pier. You get in the boats and you do a beautiful firefly tour on the river. We have other partners that we work with, and we work very much with the local community. We have another partner we work with that runs a sunset cruise on the river on the other side of the hotel, a sunset cruise and firefly watching. We also work to take our guests into Tuaran, which is the closest town from us. So we do bicycle tours into Tuaran. It's a really local, authentic experience. Beautiful. Our team take guests in there. We have another town called Tampuruli, which is a little bit further away. It's about a 15, 20-minute drive from here. they have a beautiful suspension bridge. So they have a very long suspension bridge, beautiful bamboo orchestra, local costumes. We take our guests out there twice a week when they have their local markets. You're part of our, part of our culture and part of who we are, Shangri-La Rasa is we want to ensure that our guests have the opportunity to get to know the local community and what's around us. So for us, yes, there is a lot of activities. A little bit further away, guests can go whitewater rafting, can enjoy proboscis monkey tour in the afternoon. These are maybe a little bit further of a drive. Whitewater rafting is about 45 minutes. The proboscis monkey tour is around an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes drive from here. We're also, I think, to go out to Mount Kinabalu, from here, we're the closest international hotel to Mount Kinabalu. It's around a 45-minute drive, and that's a great activity to do. You can really do that from here in about a half a day.
Wonderful. And for guests who are missing the city a little bit, you mentioned it's a 40-minute drive to Kota
Yep.
Kinabalu. Can you recommend a few activities or restaurants within the city that they can try out, maybe?
Absolutely. The hotel, and I forgot to mention, the hotel actually offers a complimentary shuttle bus to our guests 3 times a day to go back and forward to Kota Kinabalu. And that shuttle bus actually drops them off at 2 points, which is there's 2 sort of major shopping centres. One located sort of at one end of town, and the other shopping centre located more in the city centre. As I said, Saba is really well known for its seafood, really well known for I guess local food. But when guests go into Kota Kinabalu, I always recommend sort of 2 places that they try. Firstly is Gaia Street. Gaia Street is one of the oldest streets in Kota Kinabalu. Beautiful, very picturesque. Lots of kopitiams, which are really the local coffee shops and local cafes. And along that street, you can find great little coffee shops, or you can find authentic Chinese, authentic Malaysian. You can find just a myriad of different options. 2 of my personal favorite restaurants or things to recommend is, and I'm a bit partial to Indian food, is an Indian breakfast. So I recommend people, or banana leaf, that people go into town and enjoy banana leaf. There's a local restaurant called Sri Lata. Very famous. We recommend our guests try that if they go into town. A second restaurant that we recommend that guests try is a restaurant called Jetty Seafood in town. Again, they can go in, they can pick their seafood live from the tanks, they can decide how that they would like to prepare that. And both of those restaurants are around the Guy Street area.
That's really insightful, and thanks for sharing all the suggestions. Any tips that you would like to share with your guests or prospective guests? Any items that they shouldn't forget to pack, or something that they should definitely be careful about while visiting Kota Kinabalu?
I think certainly when you pack for any destination like this, we're a rainforest, we're an island. So I think people should always bring insect repellent. That's really important. You should bring suntan lotion, and just also, throw into your bag a water bottle. Really important. It's hot and it's humid when you come here. The humidity, I think, really, particularly if you're traveling from a drier climate, I think the humidity takes people by surprise when they come here, particularly their first day or their second day. So I think they're the 2 things. A great, as I said, a great hat. I'm someone that loves the hat. I like to stay sun safe, but a great hat. And I always think, when a guest comes here, you should bring with you a curious mind. The Sabahans as people are just so warm and friendly and genuine. And if you come here and if you're genuinely inquisitive about them and their culture and their stories, actually that will just enrich your stay and it will enrich your experience because you will then learn through them about what it is that makes this place so special.
That's a wonderful tip. Any advice you would want to share with guests? I was thinking especially about you're making all these efforts to keep the beach clean and efforts
Ah,
towards sustainability. Any advice you would want your guests to follow or anything?
Yeah, no, actually, it's a really good point. And so here it's already in our nature and already in our culture that we operate in a very sustainable, as sustainable as possible. That's why I encourage guests to bring water bottles. You will find water coolers all over our resort. I think to be mindful when you come here. You mentioned your beach cleaning. We do beach cleaning activities. Yeah, I think here in when people stay inside this resort, they are made very aware and the opportunity exists. As I said, we have beach cleaning available every morning. Our staff actually participate in that activity. We encourage guests to enjoy. If guests join us in beach cleaning, actually we give them a free cup of coffee or a free drink inside the resort. So we really try and encourage guests to be part of the solution and part of the conversation.
That's great, and it's certainly something that is it's everyone's responsibility, and everyone needs to take ownership of it. Otherwise, it's impossible to keep our beaches clean, right?
Absolutely.
Anything else you'd like to add, Fiona?
I think just I talked about the Sabahan people. I think here, and I personally I have worked in many countries in Asia, and the authenticity of Kota Kinabalu and Sabah and the destination itself, is quite extraordinary. And I think to travel here is almost, traveling to an undiscovered destination still. There are some great opportunities. It's a very authentic destination where the Sabahans are just really genuinely interested and passionate about welcoming you to their land and welcoming you to their homes and to their place. So I think for people that travel a long way, this is such an amazing opportunity. And obviously here inside Shangri-La Rasa, I'm a little biased, but I think that we have the ideal location, for guests to actually springboard and really enjoy a very authentic Sabahan experience. So I look forward to welcoming people.